The media, which should be challenging the destruction we are seeing in Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York City, it should be saying, what the deuce is going on? How can you say defund the police when your murder rate's up 100%? How can you possibly do that? The media doesn't do any of that. Any of it. They're on the side of the Marxists, of the anarchists, of the Antifas. They say they're not, but they don't investigate. They don't do anything. And God help you if you're opposed, as you just said. That media will come crushing down on you. And that is why this has accelerated, in my opinion, so quickly.
Well, there's a few components here. One is, I think the media has bought the narrative that Trump is Hitlerian and is going to destroy the country, perhaps the world. So once that's your sort of baseline, your jumping off point, then really anything you do to get rid of the next Hitler is all fair in love and war. So there's
okay.
Yeah,
right.
There's that. So morally, you can say what you want, you can lie, you can tilt the story, you can do whatever you want because it's in service of the greater good, which is getting rid of, Hitler's younger brother.
Absolutely.
So that's.
But it was before Trump. This happened in the Obama administration. All right. The Obama administration for 8 years. Did the Obama administration improve race relations, Carolla? In 8 years,
well,
did it?
I'll tell you what happened, in my opinion, with the Obama administration. When we elected our first black president, and keep in mind, you and me, our whole life, that was the benchmark for this country having great race relations. I mean, that was the finish line. If we could elect a black president, imagine what a utopia in terms of race this country would be in. And for many years, that was sort of the term we use. Like, once we get to the point where we have our first black president, then we've arrived and our troubles are over from a racial standpoint. So we did. We elected him, and then we elected him for a second term. So what happened? Well, all the race hustlers out there, all the Al Sharptons and Jesse Jacksons, and then the news that foment these stories, they had to up their game because we were staring at a two-term black president, and yet they make all their money crying racism all the time. So they went into overdrive. They stepped up their game big time. You noticed it stepped up. It wasn't, you can say, well, what did Obama do to quell this, or what did he do to help race relations? He didn't do anything. Everyone else stepped up their game because they had to, because how could we live in a racist nation when we elect a black president for 2 terms?
Right. And then they had to find the villain, and the villain is the cop. They found the cop, and that's what happened. But I want to get into one more thing before I let you go.
The cop represents the man, and they don't like the patriarchy.
The cop represents the white supremacist power, okay? And they launched off that.
Bill O'Reilly is back on TV and only on The First. No Spin News, every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on The First.